Hello, everybody on BPTV. Welcome to another by request by Al Levine, the talking machine, and Jessica Lee, the jazz singer. We've been doing this for about 6 months. We appreciate you watching us on YouTube also. So thanks for the new friends and fans on YouTube. And we have a great show scheduled for today. And let me introduce my co-host, co-producer, Jessica Lee.
Al, nice to see you. Good to be seen. And what are you drinking today?
Let me take a sip. Delicious Lung Ching fourth grade, otherwise known as Dragonwell, a very light, flavorful drink that keeps me healthy.
Sounds like a winner there, Al. You look healthy and happy. We're making it through we're done with the winter. We're kind of into the spring.
Yes,
We're hoping that this coronavirus pandemic is waving goodbye as we still try to be careful. And a lot of us are getting vaccinated. So, what are you
yes.
thinking about the summer?
I'm thinking about a nice, pleasant reopening of the United States and a somewhat normal life this summer. So if we can just practice being safe, kind, and over 183 million people have vaccines now and growing each day. So I'm hopeful there that that'll cut down some of these surges and we'll move forward. I'm looking for a great summer.
Me too, Al. And June, July, and August, I have some shows, mostly outdoor shows booked. Just one that we're going to try indoor if it's safe at the very end of June. And really looking forward to having live music and people getting together again safely, as per all the regulations, the CDC and all that. And we're getting back to it slowly here. So I
Yes.
just, I want to say that it's been a real pleasure to continue to receive the song requests from everybody and to hear what they are thinking about. And I think it's interesting because the first song request, Nightlife, is a song that is about going out to see live music and staying out late. The lyric is, it ain't no good life, the nightlife, but it's my life. And so it really is about wanting to get back out and be with people again and hang out around live music and live events. We've all missed that very much, haven't we?
Yes, we have, especially me, because I enjoy going to your shows and other people that are playing live music in our area. So it's a big void to fill, but I know we can try.
Yeah, yeah. So, Nightlife, I want to tell you the reason that I first learned this song. I was
Okay.
inspired not by the person who wrote it, because I didn't know who wrote it initially. I really didn't. I was hearing a version of Nightlife by Aretha Franklin and then one by BB King.
Yeah.
So kind of one blues, one more soul, and both of them I just loved so much. And Aretha, she would just blow me away with her storytelling with that song. I really believed her when she said, in the evening when the sun goes down, you're going to find me just hanging around. The nightlife ain't no good life, but it's my life. And she just sings it like she's lived it.
Right. No,
And I really felt it. And so, of course, BB King sings the same way. You feel it when he sings it, he tells it to you. And,
yes.
but why don't we take a listen now? Because I was really surprised when I found out who wrote the song.
Well, I'm one step beyond. I was shocked
So
by
let's not
who
tell
wrote.
them. Let's not
I
tell them
was
who wrote
shocked.
it.
That's the
Yes.
tease. Let's listen to
Yeah.
this song. It's a great song. And I've heard Jessica Lee sing it with such emotion. I can't wait to hear this version right now.
Hey everyone, this is Jessica Lee. I'm stopping by to sing a song by request. This song is for those of you who like to stay out late. It's a song called Nightlife. When the evening sun goes down, you're gonna find me just hanging around. This nightlife, it ain't no good life, but it's my life. used to be. But this nightlife, it ain't no good life, but it's my life. Listen to the blues that are playing here. Something done for you to settle down. Listen to what the blues are saying here. It's the same old same from the land of broken dreams. This nightlife, we all know it ain't no good life, but it's my
What did I tell you? The emotion Jess puts in there, and I'm honored to hear that piano playing. It was just exceptional. And even at the end, some of the playing and stuff was just great, Jess. Just an amazing performance. Thank you.
Hey, it's fun and interesting to just sit at a piano and honor song requests, Al, because I'm used to playing with other jazz musicians in combos and bands. And that's a wonderful, beautiful thing. During the pandemic, I had to kind of sit at my piano alone and play some of these. And so it's been an interesting time of it. But who wrote this song?
No further ado, Willie Nelson. That's why I was shocked. I know he's a prolific writer, singer, but this song is just amazing that he sang it.
Well, Willie
And wrote it.
Nelson, I don't know. Some people don't realize how many songs he's actually written. He's a lot like Dolly Parton. She's written a ton of songs. And Whitney Houston covered one of Dolly's songs, I'll Always Love You. And
Yeah.
people think was Whitney's song. No, no, no. Dolly wrote that and she recorded it first. Dolly's a prolific writer as well. And for all genres, people take these songs and do them their own way and their own style. So what did you learn?
What I learned is the reason a lot of people didn't know Willie wrote it is he was having financial trouble at the time. He had a young child. He was teaching guitar, and he worked for a guy named Paul Buskirk. And Paul Buskirk bought the song for $150. So that's how broke he was. And he gave up the rights to it. And it was just shocking to find this out.
You talk about having the blues.
Yes. So a little bit later on, he called the song Nite Life so he could record it himself. And that segued into becoming sort of a hit because a lot of the country people didn't think it was a country song. And later on, they started singing it as a country song, but the jazz, the blues, and the soul it was sung by so many greats, like you mentioned, B.B. King, Aretha Franklin. Because of you, I've listened to them and others. And it's just such a heartfelt song. And I can actually picture you and others in the nightlife with what you're doing because of your career. I picture it.
The musician's life a lot of times is a late night. That's right.
No doubt about it. And there was some other stories that in 1960, Ray Price purchased the song and used it as the title of his album, Nightlife. So there's many people and stories about it. I can share a few. The song did reach number 20 on the Billboard's Hot Country chart. In the same year, Doris Day recorded the song for her album, which I thought was unique, Love Him. So, the original recording by Willie was re-released by him in 1963 on Bel Air Records. And of course, all these other people sang it. And, that's when he actually did it publicly. So it's quite the circle in the story here. And a little thing that ties in with me is I worked the first 12 years of my career on a night shift. So it struck home with me about nightlife is my life. I lived it, actually started at 8:45 to work at night at work PM till 4:30 in the morning. So what a nightlife.
It's the nightlife, yeah. And I know that during the pandemic, I'm not surprised that it was requested because so many of the venues were shut down. And, a lot of the live performers, no matter if you're a musician or a dancer or a comedian or an actor or whatever, just have not been live. They've been doing
Right.
what we're doing through a screen, right? So
Yes.
it's been a rough time, but I think the nightlife I predict is coming back starting this summer, I think, and then 2022 should be a whole new ball game. Ooh, whole new ball
I
game.
agree. And then one more thing on the song with Aretha Franklin, she put it on her album, The Delta Meets Detroit, in 1998. So that must have been one of the versions that I did here.
And it's interesting. Delta meets Detroit. Delta, those the really Southern blues influence, and then Detroit with Motown, soul, R&B, and she does a good job of blending those genres. Yeah.
Everything she does is just wonderful. Seriously. I'm opinionated and that's
I'm
it.
a fan. I've always loved her. I've loved her, all of her stuff. I've loved, yeah.
Here's a name for a surprise for you since I was just looking through my notes. You've heard of David Lee Roth. Now,
Yep.
he released it as a single in 1994.
Wow. Okay.
So it's crossing over and back and you name it, right?
Well, see, and here's the thing: the blues, crosses all genres. There's country blues, there's jazz blues, there's rock blues, right? It just crosses all genres. Blues is such a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful art form, and you can do it with acoustic instruments, electric. You can make it sound a lot of different ways, doing it slowly or quickly.
Sure.
So, I think that song was awesome, and love the request. The next one is also, interestingly, a song that was made popular by a rhythm and blues soul kind of pop crossover artist, Roberta Flack. And this song, Killing Me Softly, was requested. And I said, the theme today is people are missing the music. Killing Me Softly with his song. This is about hearing this young boy singing and playing and just moving you so much. His song is just hurting you emotionally. It's just hitting home, his lyric and his feeling. And it's really about the music again. Nightlife is more about the life of the musician. And this is Killing Me Softly with his song. This is how the songs can really touch us and in a good way, heal us in a way.
Yes,
Make
my word for it is heartfelt.
And make us feel that we're not alone. A song can be
Yes.
with you, And
Truly.
then I have a friend who said to me one time, he thinks that singers, and we can all be singers, you don't have to sing well to be a singer.
I don't.
He said, singers are the happiest people in the world, Al. Do you know why?
Oh,
He said, they're never alone. You can just start singing a song and you're never alone. You always have a song. And I said, that's actually true. Yeah, you always have a friend if your friend's a song that you can sing. And this song, Killing Me Softly, I want to say, definitely Roberta Flack was an inspiration for my singing this for people. But we will talk more about this on the other side of this song that we'll hear in a minute. Donny Hathaway, her beautiful pianist, music director for many, many years, and he also sings like on a lot of duets with Roberta Flack. Just a genius musician.
yes.
You know, he was also somebody who I got to know through Roberta's music, and then I became a big fan of Donny Hathaway's music as well. But you want to hear it and talk about it on the other side?
Yes, I have a lot of information on that because of you. So you inspired me. So I hope everybody else is inspired by listening to this beautiful song. Let's listen to it right now.
Okay, everyone, this is Jessica Lee by request singing Killing Me Softly. I heard he sang a good song. I heard he had a style. And so I came to see him to listen for a while. And there he was, this young boy, a stranger to my eyes, strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song. I felt all flushed with fever, embarrassed by the crowd. I felt he found my letters and read each one aloud. I prayed that he would finish, but he just kept right on, strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song. He sang as if he knew me. He know my dark despair. And then he looked right through me as if I wasn't there. But he was there, this young boy, just singing clear and strong, strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song.
Welcome back, everybody. Wasn't that a beautiful, using my word, heartfelt song for these times, like Jessica Lee led us into this? The playing was wonderful. The words, when you listen to it, it just means so much more, Jess. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. That was an awesome request. It's one of my favorite songs too.
Are you ready for some insights and
Tell us
history?
what you found. What'd you find? Yeah.
Okay, it actually was composed by Charles Fox with lyrics by Norman Gimbel. And we have a couple strange twists because when you have people involved with others, certain things happen. So they did it for a young 19-year-old named Lori Lieberman. She was actually having an affair with Norman Gimbel, who was married at the time.
Uh-oh.
They wanted to guide her in her music career, and she ended up hearing the song that inspired her by Don McLean, and that's where she heard it in a concert. So she came back and talked to these two gentlemen. And of course, they were trying to help her in music. And they wrote the song for her and she performed it. And that was in, let's see, it did not chart in 1973. It became a #1 hit in US and Canada because of Roberta Flack singing the song. So I wanted to segue into Roberta Flack because how you sing it is like she sings it. And I really mean that. It's just a beautiful song and the playing with it. Hearing you on piano really meant a lot because of Donny Hathaway and what I researched on him, a musical genius, so much better. You gave me a tip that you thought he was better than Stevie Wonder.
No, 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 no. I didn't say he was better than Stevie Wonder.
Better.
I said that he inspired and influenced Stevie Wonder.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
I misconstrued that.
I mean, they're unique in their own. Each of them are wonderful and tremendous and unique.
I heard
powerful
both of them
musicians.
sing the song. So
Yeah.
I take that back, not better, but very unique. And just his playing and just, his singing were just legendary. Truly. We'll
I
get
mean,
into
his piano arrangements, Al, were
Yes.
fantastic. And then the way that he would sing and play, to use your term, heartfelt on steroids. Yeah. So,
Oh, yes. No,
so-
no doubt.
so if people haven't, a lot of people haven't heard of Donny Hathaway. They've heard of Roberta Flack, but not
Right.
Donny Hathaway. So I encourage everybody to go to YouTube. One of my favorite songs that Donny Hathaway sings is A Song for You, a version of A Song for You.
Yes.
Beautiful. And then he did a song of The Ghetto that is amazing. The sounds of the streets and the
And
sounds.
here's an interesting fact. That was his first song that he sang on his album. And I'll get to that, but I did get some information on Donny Hathaway being an American soul singer, keyboardist, songwriter, arranger, and Rolling Stone has called him a soul legend. And that's from Rolling Stone. And look at the musicians they deal with. To say a soul legend, that carries some weight, definitely. And you already said it about The Ghetto. His most popular songs will include Ghetto, This Christmas, Someday We'll All Be Free, Little Ghetto, and collaborations with Roberta Flack, Where Is the Love, and The Closer I Get to You, which I listen to both. Just unbelievable, Jess. And he has been inducted to the St. Louis Walk of Fame. He won 1 Grammy nomination out of 4. And posthumously, he was awarded a Grammy Lifetime Achievement because, sad to say, he had mental issues and problems and he died by suicide at 33 years old.
Yeah, so 33 years old, that's so young. That's also the age we were talking about, the singer Eva Cassidy, who died at the same age, I believe.
Yes.
And, there's some controversy out there about his death and the cause of his death. Was it suicide? Was he pushed out of that window in New York City?
It's funny. Yeah.
There's controversy. You hear this and you hear that about how he died. But there's no denying that his career was going like this.
Yes.
And his musical gifts were huge and his contributions were beautiful. There's a song that he sang with Roberta. I don't know if you've heard this one, Al. I think it's called You Are My Heaven. You Are My Love. You Are My Heaven.
No, I didn't hear that one. No.
But just they sang beautifully together as well as a duet.
Yes. No, he did. And he actually collaborated with Curtis Mayfield, who had this Curtum Records. And he was a session player. He was an arranger, songwriter, singer for Curtis Mayfield, and even did some projects with Curtis Mayfield, Aretha Franklin, Roberta Flack, and they even did albums. Let me see if I can find some of it. But yeah, he was signed by Atco Records. That was then a division of Atlantic Records, which we've heard in other songs. And even one of the co-founders a couple songs ago was with Atlantic Records. So I thought these tie-ins are all during that generation.
Yeah, and Roberta too. We shouldn't shortchange her. She's amazing, Roberta Flack, and her recordings will last forever and ever and ever. You know, she, as you mentioned, has collaborated with Aretha and many other singers over the years. She's beautiful, beautiful, silky smooth.
No, and
And
it's interesting with Roberta Flack. Now, Donnie went to Howard University. Roberta Flack went to Howard University. So they were co-collaborators and co-students at Howard University. And what a dynamic couple they became singing their duets. That to me tied the whole thing together in one little ball. And
oh,
just,
I'm telling you, for people watching us on TV or internet, if you haven't heard Roberta Flack and Donny Hathaway singing together, just you have to go to YouTube and put Donny Hathaway, Roberta Flack, and see what comes up. I mean, their duos are
and that it
amazing.
was actually Donny Hathaway's third album when he did it with duets with Roberta Flack. It was his third album. And they said his first album, The Ghetto Part One, was his best album ever. And that was his first. So he wasn't a one hit wonder, though,
Oh
you know,
no,
because
no.
you hear people, they're one hit wonders, they do it one time, but that was his best. But he continued to do great things in the music industry.
Yeah, and you know, he just has a beautiful voice. I mean, the
Yes.
tone of Donny Hathaway's voice is just beautiful. Same with Roberta Flack. I mean, but just, I mean, just so much talent jam packed into that duo. You
Yes.
know,
And
and now I did hear that when Donny Hathaway passed at 33 years old and went to heaven, hopefully,
right.
you know, there's Roberta all by herself down here. And I did hear, I don't know if this is true or not, Al, that she stopped performing live for quite some time
Yes. I think
because she
that,
really was
yes.
so heartbroken. And then I did see her perform live at Heinz Hall in Pittsburgh, and she brought a guitarist with her, Al. And
Right.
she said, everybody, I know he's a guitarist and not a pianist, but this gentleman with me on guitar is the voice of Donny Hathaway tonight.
Right.
And yeah,
And here's the interesting thing with that third album, with their duets, it sold over 1 million copies and became a gold disc. So you talk about how they work together. Look at the success they had. It was number one, I think, in R&B, and it scored the top. It was the number 5 on the Pop Hot 100. So it covered two different genres at the same time. So I thought that was very interesting, and I wanted to bring that out to our fans. You know, some history and how these things, like you say, are standards now.
yeah, absolutely. And the lyric is a great lyric. Talks about how music really does touch our souls, our hearts, as well as our minds. And I
Oh
think
yes,
this is a tremendous song. And I think that so many people, they do know Roberta Flack, right? They do know
yes.
Aretha Franklin. They do know Willie Nelson. But Donny Hathaway isn't a name that's as much of a household name. He has a short life, really, out, but he was a monster talent. So when people do discover his music, a lot of people will thank me and say, "Ah, oh, thanks for that."
Yes, I'm
You
one
know,
of those people. I never heard of Donny Hathaway with music that I followed. I was more into sports. So popular songs were hits to me. And my jazz and blues and yeah, was introduced to me by my dad with him growing up in the Hill District. He loved that stuff. So we'd have that music in our house. So I met, you know, so many different jazz musicians over the years, and I'm fond of jazz, as you know. So that's my tie-in with this. But I didn't know Donny Hathaway, so thank you.
yeah. So you have a new artist now to listen
Yes, I
to.
do. I got more to listen to.
Yeah, yeah. So, Al, I guess we're really like looking right now at the middle of the spring, middle of April.
Yes,
And this summer, I'm really hoping that we can see some people out and about. I'm a big fan of the vaccines. I know it's up to every person to make your own decision about what's good for you and your family, but I just hope and pray that everybody who's watching stays healthy and safe and happy, and that we can see some people out this summer at the live shows outside.
Those are great thoughts. I second every one of them, Jess. And thanks again to BPTV, Dave Cable, and you for keeping me inspired and chasing my blues away. I appreciate it. It's keeping me strong.
I'm glad, and everybody keep the by requests coming. We'll continue to take song requests, Al, and explore the music and the singers and the musicians who performed these great songs. There are many of them you don't think of as standards, but they are. They've lasted through decades.
Yes, definitely. Well, it's sad to say, but we got to say goodbye, and we'll see you next time. As Jess said, keep those by requests coming, and thank you very much for watching our shows.